Alright, quick video. Really don't have time for this. Blah, 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 blah. But this numinist guy, okay, he's got some new name, Invincible. I don't know why it's on this stupid, shitty, cruddy channel. But anyway, doesn't really matter. I'm going to play the end of his video. So this conversation between these fucktards, Piero, the stupid ape guy, and this monkey. Realistically, I'm going to say, yes, I'm still anti-natalist about all the animals and all that stuff, and we should give them a graceful exit, but these fucking scummy humans, alright, we should put all their nuts in a goddamn vice, and we should turn the fucking wheel until they fucking go uncle and say, yes, I will concede that it's beyond a reasonable doubt that I am now in a lesser state of being, that the universe is in a lesser state of being because my nuts are being fucking crushed. Okay, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no alternative fucking statement that can be made except that this fucking sucks. And if they can't say that, they're just too fucking stupid, and we ought to just keep cranking the wheel and crush their motherfucking nuts. I mean, this is just inanely stupid. I cannot believe I am on a planet with fucknuts who can't sit there and articulate the sentence saying it is beyond a reasonable doubt that sentience is significant, that it has meaning and substance and, value gravity. I mean, they really can't figure that out. Yeah, I mean, of all the things I thought I'd ever have to argue in my life, I never even imagined I'd have to explain to people that suffering sucks. I really can't even express how revolting this is. That this is what intellectuals do. They convolute reality so perversely that they can't even understand that suffering sucks.
It's just, I think it was a misunderstanding on both of our parts. Mainly me, because I was quite vague in my video and didn't put my position forward carefully enough. And I think if people have come across me for the first time, they probably will assume that I'm some kind of moral realist.
Alright, well, why do you keep using the word moral, okay? Because this isn't about morality. Morality is an idiotic word. All intellectuals can concede it's a word from dogma and biblical times and all this other kind of bullshit. It's a dictate from a god. No one's talking about a dictate from a god. We're talking about beyond a reasonable doubt. We're talking about a reasonable explanation of value. Not an unreasonable explanation of value. Not a dictate of value, okay? A reasonable assessment of what means something in this fucking shithole.
Which I'm not. So, in summary then, moral nihilism doesn't work as a way of debunking political philosophy.
Political philosophy. I mean, this is again more jargon being used. Okay, I mean, it's a definition of a state. It's not political. Okay, it either is a sensible, right thing to do to have nuclear power, or it's not. Either the people against nuclear power are correct that if you do it, it's going to go all bad, and you're going to have a horrible value outcome. Okay, you do understand that being irradiated sucks, right? Beyond a reasonable doubt that a nuclear power plant melting down is a negative thing. It is a dysfunction. It is a not... it is beyond a reasonable doubt a brokenness. Okay? Fuck nut.
Which is what antinatalism is.
Yeah, and so they're arguing whether or not there's this is the outcome. All right? So that's what they're arguing about, is what is the reasonable perception of risk and outcome. Okay? And yeah, it's hard to predict the weather. It's hard to predict exactly what will happen. But the truth of the matter is, if we had a model like for the weather that was 100% accurate, and if we had a model of reality, we could put all the little variables in and know the truth, that would be a very valuable thing. And then it wouldn't be political all of a sudden, because we'd have a guarantee that would tell us exactly what was going to happen, that it would melt down, that the guys against nuclear power were correct, that the capitalists would fuck it up. And so there would be a resolution. But that's what it's an argument about. It's an argument about a prediction of what the future will be. It's not some sort of political argument.
I am not a moral realist. And I accept...
I'm not a moral realist. So take the word morality out and say I'm not a value realist. Okay? And call yourself a value nihilist. And say that you can't tell the difference between your nuts in a fucking vice and your nuts not in a vice. That those two states of being are exactly the same. They're indistinguishable. There's no logical or beyond a reasonable doubt reason to think that those two states of being have any distinction whatsoever in terms of value. One is not negative and one is not positive. You fucking suck.
That we're still left with preferences in the absence of morality. And not only that, but...
preferences. Again, I use a word completely tied to our subjective emotions. Completely tied to arguments about whether or not you like to eat Apple Jacks. Okay? Or whether you like maple syrup on your whatever, your roast beef. I mean, so fucking manipulative and perverse. You can't figure out that using a word like a preference doesn't have a goddamn thing to do with predicting whether or not a nuclear power plant's going to melt down, or predicting, or even evaluating or comparing two cars and saying, well, one gets 10 miles to the gallon, one gets 50 miles to a gallon. And just being able to make a simple statement that one is more fuel efficient than the other, it is therefore a better use of resources, it is therefore more sensible to organisms that need to moderate their use of resources. I mean, beyond a reasonable fucking doubt.
Antinatalism has to be defended. Even if they're not willing to admit this, antinatalists have to defend their philosophy on subjective grounds.
It's just a horse shit. Just absolute fucking horse shit. Okay? I'm making an argument that it can't be contended. There's no rational alternative explanation. There's no reasonable alternative explanation. Any alternative statement has a brokenness in it, a logical disconnect, a piece of fucking bullshit like you would inject. Okay? Some kind of bizarre notion that nut crushing isn't bad, or some other kind of bullshit has to be injected. Okay? That's the only way you can defeat the fucking argument. It's a logical, rock solid, indisputable fucking goddamn fucking fact. And that's why it exists as an argument, is because it can't be refuted on any fact-based rationale.
They do it when they refer to the value equation.
Ah, there you go. Now, why don't you say value equation when you talk about all your nihilistic shit and your subjective shit and your preference shit? All right? Because that's what it's about. It's about a value equation. And it's about whether there is a rational alternative explanation of value. You little fucking cunt.
So, there's been quite a bit of misunderstanding. You misunderstood my position. I've misunderstood Hannibal slightly, I think. And the antinatalists have misunderstood the meaning of the word objective.
So, fuck you. No, you're the one who doesn't understand objective. Any fucking common definition of objective will work, okay, for an antinatalist. It's really not that complicated. The removal of bias, okay, distorted perspective, all right, we could call that objective. And in that context, an incomplete understanding could be called a bias. So any imperfect perspective could be called bias, could be called not objective. So even by that definition, it could still work. And then by the more reasonable definition of objective, which is a viewpoint that has all the necessary components in it, that obviously you can't see yourself seeing yourself seeing yourself seeing yourself. You could go on forever in terms of having complete knowledge. But we don't need complete knowledge of a system. All we need is knowledge of the system components, the ones that are relevant to the circumstance being judged. And just like an umpire can call balls and strikes without having any bias or a distortion or perversion, he has the necessary information to say whether or not the fucking ball was within a zone or not. And that's all anti-natalists have to do to be able to say this is an objective statement, okay? I'm not saying it because I personally gain. I'm not saying because I lack knowledge. I'm not saying it because there's some other, I believe in a God who is imposing a bit of perspective that it doesn't exist. There's no Bugs Bunny in our fucking anti-natalist argument. There's no Daffy Duck. There's no cartoon character. There's no Mother Goose. There's no bullshit in there. There's nothing distorting the perspective. So fuck you again.
This has all just been one giant clusterfuck. But hopefully that should be it, and if there's any ambiguities there, you can just ask me and I'll try and unpack it as much as I can in the comments.
Yeah, you won't unpack anything, okay? All you'll do is distort language once again, okay? Pervert the meaning of words, use words in the context they shouldn't be used in, to make reasonable into unreasonable. And you can only do it because you won't stick to any explicit definitions of words or their meaning. You'll just change it, pervert it to your mission statement. Okay? I need to make that reality go away, so all I have to do is change the meaning of this, and this word, and all of a sudden, value doesn't exist. Well, fuck you.
I don't think I need to make 2 videos about this, and I don't think I need to make this one longer than it already is. So yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, whatever. Enjoy having your nuts crushed. Yeah, just hope I never become, whatever, king of the world. Just fuck you people, really. This is just such fucking bullshit. This is what you do with a brain, is convolute a way to take away something there's no way you could not understand. There's no fucking way you could not understand that suffering sucks. That it's just beyond a reasonable doubt that having your nuts crushed in a vice is an impreferable, a disadvantageous, a not good circumstance. There's just no fucking way you could believe that. And so there's no fucking way you should try to make arguments saying and making it go away. It's just stupid. And the only excuse that can be made for it is that you're such a selfish little manipulative cunt that you want to steal candy or something, or there's something you're doing in your life that's a thievery by any other rational value equation. So you have to connive some way to make the law go away and to make all judgments about your fucking selfish behavior go away. Because you have to make value go away. Because you can't reasonably defend your vice. You fucker. Yeah. So anyway, I hate your guts. Yeah, die horribly. Really. Die horribly, you stupid, ignorant twat. I mean, really, preposterously ignorant twat. Not even ignorant. I mean, 5-year-olds can figure this out. Retarded people can figure out that suffering sucks. It takes a special, super, double, triple idiot to make it go away. So bravo, fucknut. And same to you, Piro. You people are too fucking stupid. And, if I had the power to, damn it, man, the pitchfork would be so up your fucking asses. Because this is unacceptable. This is just unacceptable. We're in this really fucking... This is a reality here. Real shit's happening. Real things are getting fucked over. Real people are getting their arms macheted off. And you fuckers are walking around explaining how it doesn't fucking matter. Fuck you. Fuck you. God, I hate these fuckers. Hate them. But that's what all these little fat, twatty, smelly pieces of pus. Every fucking one of them is playing this game. Grade text, turd face, fucking twat head, and wherever that fucking douchebag Piro is, and all these assholes. That's the game they're playing. They're playing some pukey intellectual nonsense game to sit there and take away value so they can justify whatever perversion they're up to. I don't know what kind of sick, disgusting perversion they're up to is, but there must be there, because what would their fucking incentive be to deny something so beyond all reasonable dispute that suffering is a negative circumstance? in and of itself, and separated from any advantageous removal of more suffering through suffering. In and of itself, in the conscious entity's experiential experience, it sucks. If there was one conscious thing in the universe and it was in pain, that would suck.